Nearly every patient who arrives at Sheltering Arms has a story that begins with the challenge of their lives.
On January 21st, Saturday night, I had real hard chest pains. I couldn't breathe. Walked in the bedroom, got her up, and told her to call 911. That's all I remember.
Just driving to my parents' house when a driver ran a stop sign and hit the rear end of my car, quarter panel, I think, on the side. And I lost control, and my car flipped up and smashed into a telephone pole.
When they got me up out the bed to walk around the hospital to get up for exercise, the blood clot traveled from my leg to my brain. And I just had a stroke while I was walking.
As their stories unfold, these Sheltering Arms patients take a journey. The journey is unique to each one, some as high-tech as they come, some simple but effective repetition, some preparing patients to live lives as normally as possible.
1, 2.
And yet each journey follows a similar path. Facing the challenge of their lives, our patients were embraced by the Sheltering Arms team of therapists, nurses, and doctors in a way that helped each of them take that first step toward recovery.
See if you can grab that. Good.
Day by day, Stanley is getting better at the little things, and that's big.
Everything on my left side was dead. I couldn't do nothing on my left side. A little bit on my right, not a lot on the left at all. They'd set me up in the bed and I'd fall down.
You'll make me cry. When he first came in here, I was really worried. I didn't think he was going to be able to walk out of Sheltering Arms. I thought he was coming home in a wheelchair.
Lewis worked for the Times-Dispatch for 42 years. His dream was to retire and play golf. That dream was nearly shattered by his stroke. And so he and the therapist from Sheltering Arms set their sights on that goal, starting with the iWalk.
And they were great, they were very supportive. It was the best thing. Because they kept, like I said, they kept telling me I could do it, and I did it. And they say, the more you try, the harder you try, the better you'll get, and that's what I did.
Lewis charged forward in his quest. Therapists got creative and designed exercises that would specifically address his ability to walk the greens, get better control of his hands, and ultimately square up and hit a golf ball.
These people are special. Everybody here, they are very special people, as far as I'm concerned. And I thank them all, every one of them.
Taylor Roberts is 22. She's bright, engaging, and filled with promise. Taylor was focused on her long future when in a single moment, everything changed.
I had 2 fractures to my spine. One was a compression fracture and the other was a burst. So one of my vertebrae actually exploded, I guess from the impact when my car had hit the telephone pole.
Early in her recovery out of state, she was warned that she most likely would never walk again. She was undeterred.
I don't know how to take no for an answer, which sometimes is to a fault, but in this situation it has served me really well. It wasn't until I came to Sheltering Arms and told them about my goals, even with a complete injury, that I wanted to walk again someday, and they never once said that that wasn't possible for me.
To meet this challenge, Taylor's therapist, Amber Walter, decided to use the exoskeleton. This technological marvel assists people in various stages of paralysis in standing and walking. Electronic pulses push into muscles and nerves when a patient moves her body in that direction. Suddenly, for the first time since her car wreck, Taylor could rise up.
The first time I stood up was instant gratification about something that I always knew I would be able to do. From there forward, the sky has been the limit. I don't let the odds define my recovery process.
All right, ready? This will work. 1, 2, 3, push.
After weeks with the exoskeleton, Taylor graduated to a specialty brace called the Autobach toe-off.
The knees will still bend when in this brace, so she's still doing work. Her quads still have to fire to get this to work properly. If she leans forward, it kind of just assists in the knee lockout a little bit, but she still has to do a ton of work to get this, to be efficient walking with this.
To hear from somebody in this field that they're gonna support me through my goals of walking again against all odds was the most amazing thing.
Like Taylor, Shadonna Cox faced the challenge of her life before she reached her mid-20s. The stroke she suffered following surgery robbed her of both physical and mental capabilities.
It affected my whole left side of my body and my memory.
With each different part of her body and mind, Sheltering Arms therapists patiently and over time helped Shadonna gain back a measure of her life. One key tool in this endeavor was the Armeo.
My arm, you can really feel it working. The Armeo helps my left arm to move up and down and bend my wrist and work on my shoulder. And it's interesting, like playing games. It's not like you just focusing on therapy. So it's kind of like you just get a chance to play games and it gets you in motion, move your arm around. They push me all the time. I love them all, and they're all understanding. And they try to work with you according to your disability. One at a time.
In the most difficult moments of her journey, Shadonna set her sights on taking her 7-year-old daughter to the park. As they focus on the breeze, the water, and the ducks clamoring for a snack, she realizes the worst moment of her life led her to the best time in her life.
But I don't regret it. It kind of built me into another person. I wouldn't have seen myself here at 25 the way I was at 23. I have grown so much because of this program.
At all of Sheltering Arms treatment centers, these kinds of miracles happen every day. They happen because our doctors, nurses, and therapists continue to advance their skills with new certifications and training, and because Sheltering Arms invests in the most advanced technology in the region, all made possible by the generosity of our donors, whose contributions last long after Sheltering Arms patients leave the hospital.
You look wonderful.
Both of you.
Wonderful.
It's
Wow.
nice.
I'll be forever grateful for what you
Wonderful.
did.
We're so glad to see you.
You gave me a second life. You need to take credit for all of it.
Yeah, you know.
You did a super job.
Well.
Super job.
I'm so happy. You look so good.
Thank
So
you.
good.
Well, when I came in and with all the encouragement from day one from Sheltering Arms, I never doubted that I was going to get to the point where I was going to go home walking.
Helping people find the power to overcome. Sheltering Arms.